Well, hello, and welcome to Cozy Eddie ASMR. In case you haven't guessed, my name is Eddie. And yes, that's my actual name. So I'm going to assume that you either found my channel through my old channel, or maybe you are brand new here. So I'm going to assume both. Or maybe no one's here at all. Maybe no one came and I'm just doing this for fun, which is also fine. But my name's Eddie, and if you don't know, I've been doing ASMR content for 9 years. Although I did take breaks here and there, so collectively it's probably closer to 6.5 years, maybe 7. But yeah, I give you a little bit of history about my ASMR journey. So back in 2011 or 2012, I was at the airport and I was going on a long flight overseas to Hong Kong. It was about a 15, 16-hour flight. And usually before long flights, I'll buy a magazine to read. And I bought a Wired magazine. I don't even know if Wired still exists. But I remember sitting on the plane reading this. Keep in mind, this was way before there was Wi-Fi on airplanes. And a little article popped up in the magazine talking about, I believe it was Gentle Whispers, how she was making a lot of money doing ASMR. And I mean, I didn't think about doing ASMR then. I didn't even want to show my face on YouTube. But I read it because I didn't know what ASMR was. And it talked about it being a tingle sensation. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know if I've had that. But it talked about how one of the times they got sensations, I don't know if it was Gentle Whispers herself or an anecdote or whatnot, was when during recess someone would trace letters or numbers on their back, just like that, and they had to guess what they were writing. And I was like, oh my God, that was me. In recess, I would get the ASMR tingles when we take turns doing that. And also when I had one-on-ones with my teacher, and they were showing me how to do spelling or teaching me a math problem, my whole body would just get completely numb. Like, I didn't want to move, like numb and relaxed, like, and I used to thought it was weird, so I never said anything about it, and I didn't realize that was ASMR. So when I landed in Hong Kong, I was so eager to get to my hotel and look at YouTube on my iPad and watch these ASMR videos. So I pulled one up and I was creeped out because ASMR people were so close to the camera. Like you can see the wrinkles, like my wrinkles. So you can see all the freckles I have on my forehead since moving into this very sunny, bright place. And used to make jokes about it because it creeped me out. But what I noticed was if I was watching an ASMR video before bed, especially ones where the ASMR content creator was doing things like librarian ones were good, sorting papers, doing puzzles, stuff like that, it would zone me out and relax me, and I would fall asleep. And this was great because I'm somebody that finds it very difficult to fall asleep, and once I'm asleep, I'm good. But the act of falling asleep and shutting my brain off is something even now I still struggle with doing. And ASMR was there for me. So, I mean, we would kind of, like I'd share it with my friends over the years, and we'd all kind of make fun of it, which is why my content on my previous channel was really leaning into some of the absurdity and comedy of ASMR, because I felt like I knew people were gonna laugh at it like I did, but I felt like I wanted to laugh with them at me being absurd. So I got a lot of enjoyment out of doing those absurd videos, but a little bit more about that after. And so I'm trying to remember where I was. A couple years later, me and a couple of my friends were doing YouTube videos pretty regularly where we would play old video games and drink and get drunk while doing so. Like, we take a shot every time we die. It's a little bit chaotic and fun. Sort of taking after My Drunk Kitchen. I don't think she does that anymore. But we did that for about 2 years, and we stopped doing that for personal reasons. And I wanted to still do content creation. Like, I didn't like being in front of the camera. I always wanted to be more behind the camera because I like the editing. I like setting things up. I like the final product, seeing it. Like, I've always wanted to be more behind the scenes. But I had this camera equipment. I had the Blue Yeti Pro mic, which we used to record the audio for our videos. And my best friend actually was like, well, why don't you make those ASMR videos that you like watching so much? And I was like, nah. But he's like, yeah, why don't you do it? So my roommate at the time had moved out, so I was living alone without a roommate for probably about a year or so at that point. And so I started making these videos. The first ASMR video I did, I think this was back in 2017, was me showing off my baseball hat collection. And it was so stupid, I'd like tap the hats and whatnot. And maybe got like 10 views, whatever. And I made a few more videos, a couple of spa role plays and whatnot. Wasn't really getting too many views. Maybe like, I'd be lucky if I get 100 views on a video. Not the worst, but it was okay. And my best friend was like, you know what? If you want to hit the algorithm, why don't you combine two things? And in the ASMR community at the time, the videos that were getting a lot of views were cashier role plays, like Walmart, like boop, boop, like booping and scanning your items. And the overall YouTube craze was also mukbangs at that time. So my best friend was like, it'd be so absurd to role play as a McDonald's cashier and then the cashier eats your food. So he wanted me to do that video. He kept trying to twist my arms. And to be fair, it was kind of absurd. Like, think about it. Why would a McDonald's employee want to eat that food? They've been working there all day long. Like, that's the last thing they'd want to eat. So it was a funny idea. But he kept twisting my arm. Do it. So I finally caved, and I was like, all right, if I do it, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to, like, make the uniform, green screen it, and everything. So I did that. I even went to McDonald's and tried to ask for a French fry box, but they wouldn't give me one without actually buying French fries. So I bought the box and, like, cut the logos out and put it on my hat and everything. And then while filming that video, I even shot the first part where I'm taking the order. And then I ran to the McDonald's wearing that ridiculous fake uniform and bought the McDonald's. And the employee kind of gave me a weird look, but whatever. Came back, shot that video. And what's funny about the background is that I couldn't find a good background of a McDonald's restaurant behind me to put behind me on the green screen, and the only one that actually looked decent was one from like the Philippines, which I didn't notice at first until much later after the video went live, because like it was like mango pie on the screen behind me on that thing. But my god, and I did so many absurd role plays after that. But anyways, so had it up, and after a few days it got like 50 views, which, okay, cool, not that bad. But over time, I was doing other videos, but I was sticking more within like the calmer, non-absurd stuff, like the spa role plays, tapping, things like that. And About 3 months later, I finally hit 1,000 subs, and I was so happy. But I was thinking that McDonald's video doesn't really fit with the rest of my stuff. Like, it's kind of weird. And by then, it had only had about like 300 views or so. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to delete it. And then I woke up one morning, not long after thinking that, and my phone exploded with notifications. New sub, new comment, new comment, new sub, new comment. So I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And I checked, it was the McDonald's video, and I was like, what asshole shared this to make fun of it on Reddit or Facebook or something? But no, it wasn't shared that way. It was actually YouTube, because it shows you, it said it was actually pushed it to almost 2 million people, recommended it to them. So crazy. That video blew up, and then I started leaning more heavy into the absurdity. I did so many weird role plays. I think the funniest was the Wendy's one, which didn't really get a lot of views, but I went all out. Just at one point, I turned into Wendy. Like, I even made like a wig with yarn of like the pigtails and like Wendy, and oh god, that was weird. So weird. But yeah, it became harder. I'd say I was doing pretty good until the pandemic hit. Like, I had a roommate move in eventually, and he was really good at giving me space, because it was a small condo, to do recordings and content. Like, he'd let me know when he would be away, or he would stay out for a few hours so I could do it. And then the pandemic hit in 2020, and unfortunately, we couldn't do that anymore because we had to stay inside all the time. So my uploading frequency really took a hit, which in turn really plummeted my views, which were already struggling because I was trying so hard to chase the algorithm. Every time I would put effort into trying something new and interesting, no views. But then I go back and do an absurd food role play, boom. So because of that, and then when things started relaxing with the pandemic, I just sort of like still found it difficult to do videos. And then I was really getting into my walking channel, my Ready Eddie walk tubing channel. And then I ended up moving to a house with more roommates, which made it worse. Very, very hard to find time without somebody being home. And when someone's home, there's almost always noise. Somebody's TV's going, or somebody's walking around, and it just doesn't help. But now I have my own space, and I live alone, unless you count my dog, Coda. She heard me say her name, and she peeked her head up. She's so cute. But yeah, now I'm back, and I'm going to be making new content on this new channel, and I explained it on my old channel, but in case you're new here, one of the reasons why I've started a new channel is because last November, I got an email from YouTube saying that I would lose monetization. I had 30 days to get 1,000 new subs and 4,000 watch hours, which fair for YouTube to do that because that channel was kind of dormant, but I was making still a small passive income on it because people were still enjoying my videos. So I lost monetization, and they still ran ads on the channel, which I get it. They are still hosting my videos, so they have to cover their costs on that end. But what really bothered me was the ads would be dead in the middle of the videos. And as somebody who uses ASMR to sleep, and knowing that a lot of people can't afford YouTube Premium, having the ad run dead in the middle sucks. It sucks to be woken up by an ad. It just doesn't fit what ASMR is. So I also never ever placed my ads in the middle of the video. YouTube went and did that themselves. So no bueno. I took down my videos and decided I would start fresh with this channel. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm very excited and very, very much looking forward to the future of this channel and getting content done. I was hoping to have some more videos done by now before I let my old channel subscribers know about this one, but in case you can't tell, I came down with a little bit of a summer cold, so I had to take a couple of days break, but getting back into the swing of things now. But yeah, so welcome to my new channel. It's so good to see you here. Even if there's only going to be like 4 or 5 of you here, I'm still very happy that somebody's watching. But yeah, I have a lot of great ideas. If you are from my old channel, I might have mentioned it there, but eventually I will probably be re-uploading some of my old videos, but I want to focus on new content more. I did save a lot of my good videos on a hard drive as I rendered them, so I do have the original copies of them, and they're mine. So I will periodically be adding them, or at least taking votes to see if there's something you've missed and you've wanted to see. More than happy to re-upload it. But yeah, thank you once again for joining me, and I will see you again very soon.